Okay.
Hi, I'm Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. Welcome to today's Connections Over Coffee gathering with the On Purpose Woman Global Community. I'm so glad you're here, whether you're with us on Zoom, tuning in via Facebook Live, or watching this on our YouTube channel. Thank you for being with us. We have an inspiring and insightful speaker today, Sherri Goodall, the creator of the Good Business Community and owner of the SEG Company. After leaving corporate America in 2018, Sherri brought her knowledge and expertise to business executives looking to deepen their community engagement. She's passionate about weaving together business and community to create meaningful impact and drive real growth. Today, Sherri's going to speak with us about profit with purpose. She'll share 3 ways you can build your community presence and grow brand recognition without adding a heavy burden to your business. This is exactly the kind of conversation that reminds that purpose and profit aren't opposites, they're partners. So, Sherri, thank you for being with us today. I look forward to your presentation.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. And as I mentioned to you earlier, Jenny, this is actually my first time giving this conversation and giving this talk, and I'm excited to make it here and share this with your audience. So I want to talk to you, and we started out talking about this a little bit earlier about what are you passionate about and how can you use that to create influence and visibility? And in our discussion, we heard several differences and several things that people are passionate about. But what also came very apparent is that a lot of us may not necessarily be incorporating what we love into our business as either a way of business or a way that we're supporting things that we're passionate about. And so, what I want to talk to you today is about how to profit with purpose. And this is a community presence that can elevate your brand and bottom line. So, do I have permission to share my screen now? Okay, awesome. All right, can everyone see the screen? Awesome. So, I want to start with the question of have you ever felt like your business is doing great work, but no one really knows it? And then when we think about that, what are we thinking actually needs to be done? What is it that we're not doing? Or more marketing. A lot of times that's what I hear from people, especially if we follow the infamous they say we need better marketing, more social media, better web pages, but that's not always true. There's a new business landscape and customers are more value driven than ever. And that's something that we don't often think about incorporating into our business, but it does allow us to build visibility and trust. And it matters just as much as the product or price that we're offering in our business. Your business can be profitable and purposeful. So in 2008, I was still in the corporate world and I had joined a new company, a national retail chain, and I was a director. And my job was to take $250,000 budget and do whatever I pleased as long as it made the company look good and help the communities where we had store locations. What an amazing opportunity. It was actually an answer to a prayer. Anybody ever remember watching Oprah and she would give away cars and houses and I mean, she was always giving away things. And I was inspired by how people would be on the show and they were brought to tears. But more importantly, I was inspired how she took money and blended that in with sponsorship to really create change in people's lives. And that's something I want us to think about for our own businesses. How are we creating change? Why this matters now? Because 89% of consumers are more likely to support a brand that gives back to its community. 89%, you all. That's a huge number. And if we are involved in giving back, why are we not talking about it more? Well, Simon Sinek says people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And that's important to remember. One of the people in our breakup room, Yvonnya, spoke about how she gives back a one-to-one purchase. If someone purchases her book, she takes a stack of 10 and gives them to an organization, a nonprofit organization that could use that. We need to talk about the things that we're doing behind the scenes. We started out today talking about things that made people excited, and I heard so many beautiful opportunities there. Community present works because visibility leads to credibility. When you're visible and you're credible, that also helps to leading to build trust, and that turns into loyalty, referrals, and profits. One of the things that we learned when I was in corporate America, and I was in this position for 7 of the 13 years that I stayed with this company, is that we not only did we build trust among the communities that we served, we also acquired a lot of staff members, many people who applied to be a part of our staff came because they saw the work that we were doing in the community, excuse me, in the community. And they wanted to be with a company that created visibility and trust and that gave them a purpose that we knew when we got up and went to work, we were also impacting communities that we served. So, real stories and real impact. I want to share with you, this is my friend Tony Harris Taylor. She's in the Houston, Texas area, and she is a franchise consultant. She helps people to find franchises. She also owns a franchise called Network in Action. And one of the things I love about Tony is that from day one, even before she became involved in doing community service, one of the things she did was bring that to everything that she does. So through Network in Action, you see some pictures here where they have gone out and partnered up and volunteered at the Houston Food Bank. I know that Tony also runs a program where she goes into the prison system and she works with people who are about to be released from prison and have business ideas, and she allows them to do a pitch contest where she brings in other business, it's a men's prison, to help them prepare to come out and be business owners. And she has some amazing success stories. So when we think about ways that we can incorporate what we're passionate about, there are many ways to do that and incorporate that into our business. So I want to take now a minute to dive into 3 ways to build community presence and brand recognition. The first point that I want to look at is to partner with a purpose. Collaborating with local nonprofits, schools, or groups is a simple way to get involved. Also, collaborating with another business. Maybe you have a mutual passion. Sponsor events and donate services or products. And then align your values with a cause. So again, the cause doesn't have to be something that is necessarily to your business. It may be something that you're passionate about. For example, one of the things, and I know we all have many passions, one of the things that I'm passionate about is working with bereaved parents. As I have lost my daughter in 2022, my only child, she passed away in an automobile accident. And now I am really creating a pathway to talk to other parents about their loss and how to manage the trauma of getting through that time. You can also share stories that matter. Use your platforms and highlight that impact. Tell stories of transformation and not just transactions. One of the things that I always believe is that we need to learn to humanize our brands. We spend a lot of time coming up with logos and brand kits and colors and all those things, but people need to know that behind your business, there's still a person or people who mate with you. When you talk about, oh, I can't find something to wear today and I'm going to a clothing closet or a clothing swap, that might be something that could influence them, and it's still supporting something that you love. You never know what's going to resonate with them, but people connect with people. We all do. And the third way is to be the bridge. You have a tremendous opportunity as a business owner to get out in front and create the bridge that other people are looking for. You can host pop-ups, virtual chats, roundtables. I heard someone mention, Catherine mentioned she hosts summits. Um, Shoshana, Lelia talked about a community activity that she's involved with this weekend. There's always ways to create this bridge, facilitate meaningful connections, and make your business the connector. So let's take one moment and think about what's one step that you can take. This may not have been something that you thought about before, but hopefully this has got some ideas rolling around in your head and some things that you had never thought about before. And you can choose one way, just one way to show up in your community just this quarter. If you're not sure, one of the things that I suggested, even as we were coming into this, is look at the National Day calendar and decide maybe there's a holiday that resonates with something that you're passionate about. And you can do is when Giving Tuesday rolls around in November, I choose something or someone that I want to give to and post that on social media. Like, this is where I'm choosing to give this year for Giving Tuesday. You don't have to make large, impactful dollar amounts. It's just the act of giving and thinking about how you can get involved. And those small moves lead to big shifts in the type of customers and employees that you may acquire, as well as it will help grow your revenue. As I've said in the beginning, 89% of consumers are looking at what we do. So here's a reminder from one of my favorite ladies, Michelle Obama. She says, success is not about what you have, it's about the difference you make. So I want to ask you, what are you thinking that you can do to continue to make a difference and that impacts the community while you're still doing good business? So this is an opportunity. Would you like to go deeper? You can join me in a live workshop Thursday, May the 1st at 2 p.m. It's called From Invisible to Influential, and you will learn how to create community presence and visibility that grows your business. A little bit about what you'll get. So, From Invisible to Influential is a 90-minute hands-on workshop that's designed for you to show up in your community with purpose and visibility, build trust and credibility with people whose needs you service, and create brand recognition that sets you apart without spending a fortune. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to spend a dime. You can still create brand recognition and visibility. And in the end, what you'll learn are three powerful ways to create community: how to turn around brand visibility into real business growth, what it means to be a stakeholder in your community and why that matters, and a simple, repeatable strategy to position your business as a local leader. And so I invite you to join me and to learn more. And I thank you. Jenny, I am complete.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to stop sharing your screen, Sherri.
Yes.
Okay, I would love to show Sherri some love. So everyone here with us on Zoom, please unmute yourself so we can give Sherri some applause and some yays and some.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ooh, thank you. Thank you. And Sherri, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your heart with us today. You've reminded me and probably others here that showing up for our communities isn't just good business, it's powerful, purposeful, and align with who we are as heart-centered entrepreneurs. So thank you for that. And to anyone who's joined us live or is watching the replay, thank you for being part of this vibrant, supportive, and purpose-filled community. If you'd like to learn more about how to get involved in our Zoom or in-person gatherings, go to my website, opwgc.com, and we'd love to connect with you again soon. And so also Sherri's information is in the text of this video, as is my website information. Thanks again for watching.